Happy Mother's Day weekend, everybody. Boise, Idaho, just a spectacular Friday night, 5 p.m. You're in your rig, I-84, ready to go celebrate with mom this weekend. And what a week it's been on IST. 2 days ago, Spencer Danielson right now. Yesterday, Brian Harsin at this time right now. And today, on our Double Tap Pub hotline, a consensus All-American, Jet Award winner, two-time Mountain West Special Teams Player of the Year, two-time All-Mountain West defensive back, Avery Williams, joining us now with the Atlanta Falcons. Avery, I cannot wait to talk some ball with you. Welcome back to Idaho Sports Talk. What's up, bud?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for having me, man.
Doing really well, Avery. Appreciate talking to you. And last year, this was rough, man. It was almost a year ago. It was last June. You tore your ACL. You missed what would have been your third season in the NFL. Just catch us up. How are you now physically, ready to roll? You still playing running back? What's the 4-1-1 there, Avery?
Yeah, I'm probably, I don't know how many months out. Like 11 months out. But I'm all good, man. I'm back practicing. Obviously being smart, being precautionary. Just making sure, I do things the right way and staying on top of my knee. But I'm back practicing, playing football. All movements are good to go. And I'm excited, man.
How did you mentally handle football being taken away from you? I know you're a thoughtful guy, and I'm just curious how you were able to deal with all that.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. But I was blessed enough to where my team, decided that they wanted to keep me around for all the season, and travel to away games and just be there and support my teammates and help in any way I could. So that was a big mental gain for me, just to be around the guys every single day and being around ball, which I love so much. You guys know that. And it was a good mental year in terms of, the circumstances, but, with being around football and my teammates and my coaches every day. I'd say it was a win.
Avery Williams, former Boise State football star, now in the NFL, running back with the Atlanta Falcons, creating all kinds of headlines this offseason. This is going to be a fun team to watch this fall, Avery. Can't wait to get that after. I do kind of want to follow up, though, on that, the mental side. When you get that first injury or when you get a major injury like that in a situation like you did, how do you get better mentally? How do you get better physically? What does a guy like you learn from that kind of injury?
You learn a lot about yourself, about perspective, about life, and about how quick life can change. In the 22 season, my second season, I led the league in punt return average, and then I'm going into OTAs, and I'm ready to go back to back and show the world what I can do again. And just like that, I tear my ACL, and that's all gone. It's on hold for a year. But I'm a firm believer that God, has his plan for me and for everyone. So, that's what needed to happen for me to keep climbing and progressing through life. I'll take it.
We know that the rookie mini camps are going on right now. OTAs and this offseason stuff is about to kind of get really serious here before you guys take a quick break for this season. When are you next? And I'm not sure you've been on the field yet, but when are you next on the official formal practice field? When can you walk out of the locker room, football under your arm, jog out on the field, and go through official practices?
Yeah, we actually had something a couple weeks ago, vet mini camp.
Okay.
That they just started doing. But I've been out there, in my cleats, and we got phase 3 coming up this upcoming week. So we'll have helmets on and all that stuff, and gloves and cleats and be competing out there. And, I'll be out there.
You mentioned it, Avery, a couple of years ago. You led the NFL in punt return average. I've been saying all day on the show, there's no player in Division I football history that's returned more touchdowns than you number one all time. There are new kick returns in the NFL. What's your interpretation of them, and how do you think it could positively affect a play in the kick return that I've felt the NFL has almost tried to completely legislate out of the game?
I think it's great. I don't know if you guys have seen the rules or are caught up on all the rules, but it's amazing. The past couple of years, the touchback rate has been really high and the return rate has been low. And I see that flipping completely. There's going to be a lot more returns, less touchbacks, because they've incentivized basically for teams to kick it so that the balls can be returned. But I love it, man. It's more returns, more exciting plays. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think Ballgame and I are as well. The optics of it are really, really cool, and it brings an exciting element back into this game. So I guess the natural follow-up there is, you're a kickoff star. You're a return specialist. That's what you do. But with the Falcons, they moved you over to running back. Are you still going to be doing some returns? Does it matter about your knee, or have they made that position permanent? I know there's been some coaching changes, so lots of elements out there. But we'd love to see you take advantage of this new rule.
Oh, of course. Returning, that's always going to be my thing. So, I'm still playing running back. And I'm always going to, do whatever, is needed to help my team. But, yeah, returning is always going to be my thing. Punt return, kick return, and then just, enlarging my role on special teams as a whole.
Avery Williams with us, Double Tap Pub Hotline, Prater in the Ballgame, Idaho Sports Talk. How important is vision in the return game, whether it be a kick or a punt, Avery? And I mean, do you watch film of the Devin Hesters, the Billy White Shoes Johnsons, heck, your former teammate Cordero Patterson? What goes into the prep of being a kick returner?
Yeah, there is a lot of film that I do watch, but there's also a lot of natural skill, talent, and vision, like you said. And I think punt return and kick return are very different in terms of vision. I think punt return is a lot more chaotic, in terms of, the waves of guys that are coming after you. But I think this new kick return there's going to be certain parts of the scheme that will be similar to punt return in ways. But yeah, film is definitely something, I've always done, I've always watched and believed in. And I've watched a numerous round of guys. I've watched legends in the game. I've watched current players. I try and grab things from everybody.
You're so good at the return game, and it takes a whole variety of skills and preparation to make that happen. But if you had to isolate one, what is your return superpower? What's the one thing that makes you special in this game?
That's a good question. I'd say I'm gonna go with two. I'm gonna go decision making and consistency. Decision making, just because I'm always gonna, especially with this new rule. There's a lot of new rules. You just got to be on point. You got to know when to do the right thing. You really got to quarterback it back there when those kickers and punters are kicking the ball to you. And then consistency, just every week, week in and week out. I feel like in 22 when I led the league, it was because I was the most consistent. There was guys that were under me in terms of average, but they scored. I didn't score that season, but I was still at the top because I was so consistent. And that goes to my teammates as well. And that attests to our special teams coaches and our team.
That's going to happen this year. He was the last consensus All-American at Boise State, the Jet Award winner, which is basically the Heisman for special teams return players. Now he's with us on Idaho Sports Talk, Avery Williams. Avery, have you thought about plans after football, maybe with the injury like that? It feels like you think about that stuff. What's going on in your head when you are done playing football? Any idea what you want to do?
Yeah, no, you're wrong on that one. I don't think about that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, coaching has come across my mind, but those guys, man, they're dedicated. Not that I'm not, but man, they got to spend a lot of time, in the building, away from their families. I want to have a family someday, so I got to still contemplate that. Don't rule me out for coaching, but I still got to think on that. Other than that, no, I'm just focused on ball and living my dream right now, man.
Good for you.
And we think that is your superpower, the business approach that you take to football. But I'm going to go ahead and risk asking another dumb question here that you probably don't want to answer because, again, we know your style, and this is a contract year. You are a businessman. You conduct your business as a pro, and you did in college. I mean, the way you conduct yourself has always been very admirable. But do you think about being in a contract year? Do you think about the business of the National Football League, or is it just a day-to-day and go out and do the best you can and everything else will take care of itself?
No, not at all. I mean, I really don't. I love this game so much, and I feel like thinking about the business side. Obviously, it's right there. It's in your face. It's the NFL. There's contracts and everything like that. But I feel like that takes the fun and the love out of the game. I just want to go out there and do the best that I can. And whether I was coming off an injury or not, I was still going to have the same mindset of the things that I have to prove, not only to myself, but to everyone else, this upcoming season. So no, that's not anything I ever like to think about, because I just have too much respect for this game and love for this game that, that's not something that needs to be on my mind.
Avery Williams with us. Spencer Danielson, now the head coach at Boise State. You know Coach D well, so well that he had you speak to the team following the spring game a few weeks ago. I saw you on the field there, Avery. What's your opinion on the state of your beloved alma mater, Boise State?
Oh, I love it. I love it, man. Just to be around the guys and see them work, and just to see that, guys there still have the same type of character as the guys that I was around when I was there, in terms of tradition, in terms of being blue collar, and, always being the best man you can be. There's no better leader than Coach Danielson, just a true man of God that, everyone loves. And you could see it. You could see it in the current guys. You got guys like Ashton, sticking around when he could have probably doubled his money in NIL, going somewhere else, tripled his money. And, that just goes to show Coach D is a real guy, man. He's a real dude. And there's no amount of money you can get to have a leader like that in your building.
Avery Williams, Boise State, Atlanta Falcons, and hopefully for a long, long time. Avery, we've been talking about cornerbacks today. We did a little profile on a Marion McCoy. We love him. We love the new one, Jeremiah Irby. I don't know if you had a chance to watch him, but he's got something special going on. And the cornerback room at Boise State's pretty solid. And we were looking at the history and looking at the context. And McCoy last year led the team with 3 interceptions. And going back to 2015, when Darian Thompson had 5, nobody at Boise State's had more than 4 in a season. And I'm not bringing this up because of where you were, but you were such a phenomenal football player at Boise State. But even in your last 2 years, you didn't have an interception in 21 games. They're passing the ball more than they ever have in college football right now, but interceptions are hard. Everybody is so good at what they do. How hard is it to get an interception these days?
It's hard. I mean, I felt like the stars got to align sometimes to get an interception. But I would say that's what separates the good cornerbacks between the great ones. I don't know. I always looked at film from guys like Dante Dion, who just seemed like, when the ball goes in there, it's theirs. The ball doesn't have to be thrown to him. He's just going to go and take it. There's just certain guys that just have that, special knack and gift where they can and do things like that. No, that's a crazy stat though. I never knew anyone has had more than 4.
Boise State.
That's good to see. That's good to see a young cat already getting 3 and stuff. I'm sure he'll build on that.
Boise State's interception record, single season interception record, it's 12, which is a ridiculous number.
Yeah.
1968, that record was set.
Yeah, that'll never be broke.
1968. That's crazy amount of numbers. So, but we're looking for 4 or 5, and we love the cornerbacks, and maybe we'll get some love there this year.
Absolutely. Avery Williams with us, hopefully a future Boise State Athletics Hall of Famer. Avery, I've talked to you before and know a little bit about your background, but you essentially grew up on a movie set. Your mother is in show business. It's Mother's Day weekend. I'm going to try to make you cry, Avery. How inspirational has your mother been for you on your journey?
Oh, extremely inspirational. I know you guys probably know this, but for those that don't, that's really where my work ethic comes from. Just seeing her, throughout my life, always getting up early, staying up late, writing scripts, and trying to become just better in her field, and rising to the top as one of the, few Black women in her industry, who has just had so many accolades and, just done an impressive job in her field. That's just something I strive to do. And yeah, it's very inspiring.
What was growing up on a movie set like? I mean, was it seriously like, okay, you're after school, you're heading to the set, you're going in a trailer, and oh, yeah, there's Tom Cruise walking by with a meatball sandwich, getting ready to go to the next, Mission Impossible scene. Like, put us in that world a little bit.
Yeah. probably one of my earliest memories. My first time playing Grand Theft Auto, the video game, I was in Eddie Cahill's trailer, and he let me and my brother, get on the sticks, get on the game, and play Grand Theft Auto, and that's something we'll never forget. But yeah, after school, sometimes we pull up, and when you're on set, you got to be quiet, but they always had the snacks ready, so we'd have a handful of candy and chips and sodas and stuff.
That is living the dream right there, ball game. I can't believe that. Hey, yesterday, Brian Harsin, when he came on here, he kind of shocked us with a little bit of news that he is now a grandpa. That's kind of crazy. I just want to kind of catch up with you because we keep talking football with you as we should, but you're not a grandpa yet, but I don't even know if you got a girl. I don't know if you got what's going on in your life. You have a dog? Do you have a house? You're living in Atlanta. You're focusing on football. What else is going on in your life these days?
Man, I love football, man. That's all I'm going to say to that.
Wow. You don't even have a dog? You don't have a dog?
No. I have a lady, and we're progressing, and we're getting there. You guys are trying to get me on some Dr. Phil show or something. But, no marriage, no kids. That's not going to happen for a while, man. I just don't feel like I'm there yet. I think I want to be 30. When I do that stuff. What do you guys think about that?
Great idea.
I was 30 and ball game is still waiting. So yes, answer yes from both of us on that one.
All right. So I got some time, man. And I'm still trying to figure this life thing out. So, that's all I got.
I think the Falcons could pop this year, Avery. Everybody's talking about the quarterback room. You got Raheem Morris coming over. I mean, Arthur Blank, it seems like it will bear no expense to get the Falcons at the top of the league. You have one of the most gorgeous stadiums on this planet. Prater, my partner's talking about your practice facility. What's it called, Prater? Flowery Ridge?
Flowery Branch. You guys are like in the middle of the forest when you're practicing. There's trees all over the place, giant trees.
Yeah, it's out in kind of like the country.
That's cool, man. Falcons, you guys just we'll let you go on this, Avery. Like, you got to be excited. How good are the Falcons going to be this year, man?
Oh, I mean, I feel like we're going to be really great with the new coaches that we brought in. It already feels like something special. It just feels like we've already gone in the right direction. And just sitting in the locker room and talking with the guys, man, we're really happy in the place we are, not only as teammates and guys that have been here and the new faces that have come in and the talent that's in here, but just as a group as a whole, it's a lot harder to go, deep into playoffs or make the playoffs alone without, an actual team where you care about each other and do the things it takes to go win a Super Bowl. And we feel like, especially the guys that have been here for a while, ever since we've been here, we're doing the right things, man. We're doing the things that we need to do and what we feel like is going to get us further. So we're happy, man. It's a really exciting time around the building, and we're really blessed, not only for the new coaches that have come, but we've retained some coaches that were with us in the past, and we're happy about that as well, man. So it's all good around in the Flowery Branch right now.
If you guys are also wondering who Eddie Cahill was, think the goalie on the movie Miracle, or think kind of the star of CSI New York. He introduced Avery Williams to Grand Theft Auto, and I don't think Avery's mother has ever forgiven him for it, man. I love it. Avery, appreciate your time. We know it's valuable, and Avery Williams listeners, he is still 100% all football. Avery, I'll check back in a few months. Enjoy the rest of your summer and getting into the season, and we still love you in Boise, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, I love you guys too, man. I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you for your time.
Great stuff, Avery Williams, 208-424-9300. Still soft-spoken, still to the point, still all business.
Yeah, but that may have been the first time I've heard him giggle. I mean, so that was fun, man. And every stinking time we get a chance to talk to that dude, you walk away more inspired, and you learn things about him, and it's just the respect. I mean, just the respect about a way a human being conducts his business. Avery Williams is one of the best who's ever done that.
What do you guys think? 208-424-9300. Check in on our Cloverdale Plumbing text line. Let's come back and get to some NFL mini camps all over the country this weekend. We're Prater in the Ballgame, Idaho Sports Talk, KTIK, The Ticket.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket Traffic.